G'day humans, Chris Stead here, I'm on the road. Today I'm catching a Garuda Indonesia flight from Sydney to Denpasar in Bali. Now I've got an economy seat and I'm flying on an Airbus A330-300 flight. In this video I'm going to give you a full review of what the entire experience is like, show you everything you need to know, the room, the legroom, the service, the facilities, the check-in, the whole entire thing, so you know exactly what to expect in case you're thinking about flying on Garuda. Let's go. So I'm quite excited about this flight actually. I've flown to Bali lots and lots of times, and if you're familiar with my channel you'll know that I've reviewed other airlines that fly there like Qantas and Jetstar, but I haven't actually flown Garuda for 24 years. And I'm hearing good things. Everything I've heard about it is that it's actually potentially the airline to get. So I'm really excited to see what it's actually like and getting on board and see how it stacks up after all these years. But anyway, let's go and have a look at the check-in process. So I'm here 2 hours before the flight and there is no queue to check in. There was a couple of people here when I first got here, but check-in was an absolute breeze. Staff are lovely. And yeah, as you can see, like no queue at all if we compare it to whatever airline that is, for example. Happy days. And now one thing I will note is that they did check the weight of my check-in, my carry-on. So, there's a limit to it. Some airlines don't check unless, it's really packed or it's really obviously a problem. I've just got a little backpack on my back, but they did weigh it and tag it. So that's just something to note. It's also worth noting that the check-in's on gate J, which is at the far end of the international terminal here at Sydney. So if you're coming on this flight through Sydney, just note that, it's the furthest end when you're pulling in the Uber, or if you're getting on the train, it's also, the train drops you at number 8, and it's a long walk up. So that's just something to plot into your planning. It's not the type of place where you want to catch the train in and want to have to run the 200 or 300 metres or whatever it is down to gate J to check in. All right, let's go to the gate. Okay, so I'm on board. Just wanted to give you some first impressions. So it's got a real dated look with the browns, cream, very old entertainment unit. It's not working yet, so I can't tell what it's like. But look at this economy legroom. Look at that. I've had premium economies worse than this. I'm 6'4", so I'm 194 centimetres. This is unheard of, so I am stoked. So much room. This thing's a bit of a bummer. So it's right where your foot kind of wants to go. But, there is space. But yeah.
Flight attendants, take off position.
But really impressed by the amount of space, and the staff are absolutely lovely when I was checking in, coming through the gate, sorry. Just good banter, really polite, just really nice. And a little Garuda magazine. Also wanted to note, these headrests are actually up high enough not to dig into my shoulders, which is super rare for me. Usually, every time I want to fly plane, it just won't go high enough, the headrest, which kind of digs into your shoulders or the head's got nothing to lean on. But here, it's going all the way up. So, my initial impressions are basically that this flight is old But the plane's old. I can feel the seat, the cushioning is kind of worn down. The screen's obviously old, the colouring and that's all kind of old. But the space is amazing. I'll take the space. Okay, let's talk about this entertainment unit because it's super basic. So the screen moves a little bit. It's really weird, you got the credit card, the old credit card thing on it. So you got movies, music, media player, TV shows and Kids World. It's all really kind of hard to control. Like it's really, yeah, there's a lot of tapping and nothing happening. Now the movie selection, look, it's got a decent range, but they're really old movies. So Zootopia 2 is the only kind of recent one, but if you go to what's new, they got movies like Yesterday and it's like 4 or 5 years old. So it's just not very deep and it's old. You probably see most of it. And yeah, music's pretty much all Indonesian. Media player is interesting. There's a USB-A slot down in the seat. So I didn't actually bring anything, but that's potentially an option. Just put something new on a USB-A and bring it in. TV shows are all bizarre. I've never heard of any of them. So look, you know, it's better than nothing. But you know, it's way below modern standards in terms of its responsiveness, in terms of you know, the catalogue of stuff that's available, the functionality of it. It's also using these old style headsets with the, I'll show you. It's not necessarily uncomfortable compared to what you get elsewhere. It's very soft on the padding, but with the 2 prongs. So you've got to connect it kind of through your seat. So at least it's on the front, which is good, because it was when they have them there, kind of jabs into your side, you're always knocking it out or breaking it. And you've got the remote down here, which might be easier than using the touch screen. Yeah, so the entertainment unit, look, it's good as it's there because other options like Jetstar, for example, do not have it. But yeah, it pales in comparison to, say, what you might get on Qantas. But it is a 6-hour flight. Do you need it? Can I just watch on my laptop? Something you certainly won't get on the budget airlines is a pillow and blanket. So this does come with a pillow. I like the colour. It's got an interesting feel to it, a bit plasticky, but it's quite firm, which is good. It's a bit of padding there. Nice blanket, really nice warm blanket. I can feel how soft it is through the plastic. A water bottle was also delivered within, 10 minutes of taking off, which is good. I was happy to get that nice and quick. You can see here with the headrests as well. So you've got some flexibility and a really good range. So they've done a really good job with the headrests. Okay, so here we are in the toilet of the Garuda Indonesia Flight A330-300, and economy toilets it is. So this is the centre one. There's quite a bit of room in this one. The one that's on the side, I tried that before, and my head was quite a significantly more cramped, probably 20% smaller with the curve as well. So tall people got a bit like that. But you know, just wait for the centre one because the centre one's quite roomy. So you can see here, nice and clean, bit of space around it. Handles to deal with that turbulence, not too bad. And then a sink at the other end as well, which is good as well, so it's not trying to cram it in beside you. Now, this is kind of a nice touch. A few little bits and pieces here, some hand lotions, and yeah, just a couple of accessories, just for just make it feel a bit more premium, but otherwise pretty typical airline toilet. Not too bad at all. Okay, so lunch has arrived. There's 2 options. There's beef rendang or chicken polenta with spinach, although I can't see any spinach. So they must have meant vegetables. Went this simply because I was worried the beef might have been spicy, really, because you never know with Indonesian food, right? But I'm got a little bit of regret. I'm sure it'd be nice, isn't it? Came with a little side dish of pasta, some cookies, some cake and a piece of bread. And our drink options, there were a couple of spirits. There was bintang beer, there was red wine. I went to red wine. It is not to my taste at all. As soon as I sipped it, I went, oh, that's right. Indonesian wine is not very similar to Australian wine, so it might be an acquired taste. Yeah, but I should have probably just got a beer or a spirits. But either way, it's a good serving size. Let's dive in. Okay, so a little bit of commentary on the lunch. I've actually stopped short of having the cake and the cheese and crackers just because I'm so full. So I'm going to leave those for a little bit. But the chicken was really yummy. Yeah, really, really nice. So a lot nicer than it looked. And the little pasta dish was really quite nice as well. And bread, butter. So just between those three elements, I'm really quite full. It was really quite yummy actually. Quite happy with it. And the wine's actually getting better with each sip. So it's definitely an acquired taste more than anything else. I think it's just very different to Australian wine. Yeah. The only thing I'm curious about is we're only an hour into a 6.5 hour flight, so yeah, I wonder if there's going to be another snack or something. Because towards the end of this flight, I reckon I'll be hungry again. Okay, so I just finished the cake. The cheese and crackers were really good too. The cake was excellent. Really enjoyed it. I think overall the food has been really good. And the only thing that's a bit weird, I thought, was that they served the wine in just a plastic cup, not just a paper cup actually. Not a, not a bottle of wine that you can just get, or a bottle of spirits even, as I got before. They just kind of serve it in these cups and they kind of half fill it. So you get a pretty small serving. You can ask for more, but that's one thing that's not so great, but overall I thought the food experience was quite good. Okay, so I got some more feedback for you on the entertainment system. Just been watching a bit of Rental Family, the movie with Brendan Fraser, and which is one of the newer ones that they had. It's an interesting movie, really quite good. But anyway, here is the headphones. They actually go pretty good. Despite its age and its kind of lack of modern features, the visual and the sound that came through is actually quite good. So not a wider selection, but it actually works well. The audio came through better on this than I've got on more modern systems and some of the planes I've been on, so that's pretty good. I also just went to the back of the plane to get myself a bit of juice, and I said, oh look, I'm a bit hungry, is there a snack? And she just gave me some more cheese and crackers, so that's pretty good as well. I also walked up the back of the plane just to see what the seats were like back there, just to see whether the leg room was more compromised. I didn't sit down in any of the seats. Visually they looked like they still had a lot of space. Potentially not quite as much space as we were up here on seat row 28. Didn't look like it had quite the same amount of room, but it was still much bigger than you'd usually expect. So I think it'll be sweet no matter where you sit. There is that kind of Airbus feature where like the middle's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then the back like 7 or 8 rows are 3, and the plane kind of angles slightly. So there's a point where the seats, it's usually around row 51, where the seats go from angled to straight. And when they do that, that angled seat can be a big compromise. But there's so much space in general, I actually not think it'll be that big a problem for most people. So about 4 hours in, we got an ice cream. Chocolate artisan Italian gelato. Righto, well, we're beginning our descent down into Bali. So it's time to wrap up my thoughts on the Garuda Indonesia Economy experience. And look, I'm going to say it straight away, if you're a big person if you just like space in general, but in particular if you're tall, like I said, I'm 6'4", then hands down, shut the gate, you want to get Garuda. The amount of space in economy, honestly, it feels like premium economy in every single seat in terms of the amount of space. So I love it. It's just hands down, like, this is going to be probably my first option from now on, going anywhere towards Bali. Now, it's not just the space. I thought the food was pretty good. I think the staff experience has been excellent. The check-in process, everything like that has been really, really awesome. So yeah, got to hand it to the staff. What I think is also particularly worth noting is that of all the airlines I was looking at, Garuda was the only one that went through the day. So we left Sydney at 10 o'clock and we're arriving in Indonesia at 2:40 in the afternoon or something. Whereas all the other flights basically got you into Bali at like 7, 8, 9 at night. So yeah, I'm going to get to Bali and actually have some afternoon in my resort, some time on the ground. And I think that's actually super valuable. It's definitely worth weighing into your spend and like when you're weighing up which flight to get and how much, because usually I get to Bali so late at night and then I'm paying for a whole night's accommodation and you pretty much just roll straight into bed, right? So not an ideal situation. So I think that's a huge positive in Garuda's favour as well. They also have in this, I didn't mention this before, but they've also got a online version of signing your visa on arrival, not your visa on arrival, your arrival card. So if you forgot to do that for whatever reason, you can scan this QR code apparently. I've already done it. You can scan the QR code and you should already have done it, but gets you out of a jam. Now in terms of the negatives of the experience, it's definitely a very dated plane. Like it feels like it could really do with a revamp. Like obviously I mentioned the entertainment units are quite old, dated. The entertainment, it actually worked quite well, but the entertainment programming on it's far below the standards we've seen elsewhere. There's a USB-A port. The charging out of it is extremely slow to the point of being useless. There's no PowerPoint, that's for sure. You can't put in your own headphones. It's all on the old double thing, unless you got one of those old double adapters, I guess. Seat cushioning feels like it's been used by 1,000 or 1 million bums before mine. You know what I mean? It's kind of got that kind of like, it's got no oomph to it. It's not holding me up. It's kind of uncomfortable seat in that regard. And then this kind of weird pattern they've got here and stuff like that. So yeah, I can only imagine how awesome this plane would be if they just given it a full like revamp and refresh and redone it. Because I think the space is amazing, and the food and the stuff, like I mentioned, that side of it's all been so awesome that I think that that's just all it's missing is that extra kind of like lick of paint everywhere, and it'd be I think quite the flight. But yeah, it's just definitely a little bit tired. But for me, I cannot reiterate how awesome I think the space is, and I think that just sells it so much for me that I'm more than happy to recommend it. So Garuda Indonesia Economy Flight Experience, that's my review. I hope it helped you. I'm Chris Stead. Make sure to check out my channel. Heaps of other content up, including a ton from Bali. Until next time, get back on the road. Yeah.